Hi there, the name's Anthony James. I'm a junk model maker. That means I make models out of junk and have done for about 20 years as a company called CREATURAMA. I work for film, television and theatre as a prop maker, and I work in lots and lots of schools and have done across the UK and beyond. I'm just going to do a little bit now about general model making techniques. So if you've already seen this on another one of my YouTube posts, then just fast forward to the bit where my shirt changes colour. That'll be the actual make. For those that haven't seen any of my posts before, I'm just going to do a little general piece about making models. The first thing you're going to need, if you're making them out of junk, is some scissors. These are my sort of medium-sized scissors, good for adults, but if you're working with children, what you want are these smaller scissors with the blue handles on. They're obviously different colours. If they're yellow and green in the UK, they're for left-handed people. If they're just one colour like this, they're for right-handed. Get that right straight off, because obviously if you're trying to cut with the wrong pair of scissors for you, you won't be able to make anything. Children particularly will think it's their talent that's at fault, so we don't want that to happen. They're sharp, be careful. Small scissors like this are blunt-ended, which is great, so they're not quite as easy to stab yourself with. Also, they're very good for cutting round corners, so for making smaller models, these are the scissors you want, particularly if you're working with children. And then, everything I build, and you can see some of my things behind me, is made with masking tape. Masking tape is fantastic stuff. You don't have to wait for it to dry, it's dry straight away, and you can paint over it. But there are ways to use it and certain ways not to use it. This is one of the ways not to use masking tape, particularly with children. Don't try and break it with your teeth. The first thing, obviously, you'll get it stuck to your lip and it hurts when you pull it off. That can make a child's lip very sore. It's also not very hygienic, so don't do it that way. The way I do it, and it's a very simple way, yes, you can use scissors, but I tend to find that slows you down. Just get the tape off, and you can see in my hand there, the sticky side's away from you. Put your thumb on the corner and pull. The tape will come straight off. It makes you very quick at making things. So I'm going to put that bit of tape there later on, because that's how to do it. Put lots of little bits of tape around so they're ready to use. I'm going to do it again. Put a bit of tape off. Put your thumb there, right in the corner. Don't worry if you bite your nails or you don't think you've got very long nails. Just press your thumb on really hard. It will still work and tear. And that's your tape. That's really all you'll need. Obviously some paints at the end of the make will be very good. There's all kind of different paints out there. Try and use a water-based paint if you're working with children, because that's easier to wash out of where they're going to get the paint all over. Obviously the way I'm going to show you to make models, you should have a surface that's quite easy to paint. There are lots of different makes of paint out there. I find acrylic some of the best paint to use. So that's really just the general model make. Now on to the actual building of, well, what you're going to make next. Off we go. Hello and welcome to another CREATURAMA make with me, Anthony James. We're going to make Thor's hammer, Mjolnir the Destroyer. The Viking god Thor had this fantastic hammer with which he could make thunder and lightning and basically cause all kinds of mayhem. This is the one I've sort of made for my exhibition. I've got over here on the table one I made earlier, which is made out of junk. This is a very quick make, and this is what we're going to have a go at making right now. So what you'll need are 2 kitchen rolls, a toilet roll, a plastic bottle and some paper, and 2 yogurt pots. So I've got 2 kitchen rolls here. One there and one there. This is going to make the handle of the hammer. If you've got one cardboard tube that's long enough, that's great, use that. But I just wanted to show you that actually if you've got 2 tubes like that and a toilet roll, and just squish the toilet roll so it fits in there like that, put a little bit of tape round, just a little bit of masking tape, just to stick it on, and then you can put your other tube on, and that will just hold it so it can't fall apart or bend or break. So then what you do is you can put a bit of tape around like that, and so you can make 2 small tubes into one big long tube, and there's your handle made. The next thing you're going to need to do is get a plastic bottle. Now, it's up to you what shape you want your Thor's hammer to be. I've just picked here just a sort of squared off bottle, which is quite nice. I'm going to get some paper. Newspaper's good for this. I've just got a bit of newsprint paper here, which is what newspaper's printed on. Just 1 sheet of newspaper would be good, and I always tend to do that because it just makes them softer and easier to use. So just scrumple them up a bit, then fold them out and press them out onto a table like that. And now, and I've done this a lot in my makes, you may have seen some of my other makes, it's the same sort of thing. Get your masking tape and put it half on and half off that piece of paper on a table. Now make sure that it's not a varnished table or something, it needs to be laminated like this. And do it again. Also, there's a tablecloth that will just stick to the tablecloth, so just don't do it on a table that's got a tablecloth. A laminated table or Formica top will be fine. And just go around sticking it on. You can use the magic word wallop if you want to, wallop like that, just to stick your tape on. Nice big bits of tape, and that's what you do. The next thing, just take one corner and pull it off the table, and you'd have made a big sticky patch. Turn it over like that. Get your bottle, stick it on, and just roll it up like that. And effectively, you're just covering all the plastic. It's very hard to paint plastic. So if you can stick paper over it like this, obviously that's going to be a lot easier to paint later. I'm just folding down all the edges now. So I've covered my bottle. Now you can see there, I'm not quite long enough. There's a bit of plastic showing. Use some more masking tape. Cover the plastic. Plastic is very hard to paint. Even if you're spraying this with spray cans, and that is one way of painting things, it won't go on very well if you haven't actually covered your plastic like that. And again, there, just at the end of the bottle there, I know that usually there's a bit of plastic showing, so just get some more tape and cover that up so that it is all covered with either paper or masking tape. And there's the top of your hammer. The next thing to do is to fix that to there. Now, this is one of the best ways of sticking things together I've ever found. What you do is you get the end, put some tape half on and half off, all the way round, press it down, get your scissors and just go snip, 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 snip. Only cut the masking tape, don't cut the cardboard. I call this the sticky flower way of sticking things together, because actually when you fold those petals back, you make a sticky flower. And then you just decide where you're going to stick it, press it down. Now you can see already it'll stick. But once you've decided you want it there, then press your petals down. And if you want to make doubly sure it's going to stay there, get some masking tape and just take it over those sort of petals, and you know that that's going to stay there and not fall off. And there is your hammer, and that's virtually it actually with this make. It's a very quick and easy make. Now, Viking warriors, Viking gods particularly, but Viking warriors used to name their weapons. They used to give them a character. Obviously, you wanted your weapon to be successful in battle. So, one of the ways that they would customise their weapons is to either carve on them or engrave on them, make shapes. I'm going to put 2 yogurt pots on either side. These yogurt pots have got a lip here. Now, if they haven't got lips like this, then you can obviously take your masking tape round, cut petals out and stick them on with sticky flowers. But I'm just going to put a bit of tape there and a bit of tape there, and I'm going to put this in the middle of this hammer just to create a bit of interest, because that's a bit simple, I think. So I'm just going to put a bit of tape there and there, just going to stick it on the middle, fold that bit of tape over like that. There's a big gap, I don't know if you can see that there, but there's a big gap there on the yogurt pot, so I'm just going to put a big bit of tape over that bit and fold it over. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. And 2 bits of tape first, either side on the lip of this particular yogurt pot. Again, this could be another small box, it could be a lid of a bottle, just something, it's just to create a bit of interest, a bit of difference to the shape. And I'm going to put another bit of tape on there. Fold it over. And then another little bit of tape just on the other bit, like that. Stick it down, like that. And there's your sort of 2 side bits, which just add a bit of interest. The next thing you can do is make a nice bit of decoration for the handle. There's a very special way of doing this. This is called sticky string. What you do, get yourself a nice long bit of tape like that, and just start twisting it over on itself. Now, I call this sticky string because it's like string and it's sticky. So just keep doing that. The sticky side must face away from you, and just try and make it longer. I do it at an angle, look, because then that just gets longer and longer as you twist, and as you twist, and it gets longer and longer. One of the ways of doing this when I work in schools is I always tell the children to try and get it in the ear of the person sat next to them. That's an inspiration to make it longer and longer and longer, because the more you've got, the more you can do with it. So off we go. We're about there, nearly there at the end of the tape. And just keep twisting it. Do it badly, don't roll it carefully. Do it badly, it'll work better. And there's my sticky string. And all you need to do with this is get a bit of string on one end, a bit of masking tape on one end, I should say. Stick it on and just twist it round, and it just looks good. It looks like a bit of low relief decoration. I'm going all the way around there like that. You can go all the way if you want to, and then when you get to the end, use a bit of tape to actually fix the end back on like that. You can see actually, if I show you the one that I made, it's there, look, all the way around the handle there, and I've actually used that to do this sort of swirly Viking decoration as well on this one. You can do as much of that on here as you wish. I've just done a little bit on the handle there. On my original one that I just showed you earlier, I've actually used some corrugated cardboard here, just under here. But again, that's up to you. How you decorate it is fine. But really, that's the make, that's it. Now for painting, you can paint the handle brown as if it's made out of wood and it's been carved, and you can paint the top grey. If you then, once you've painted the top grey, if you then use a silver spray paint, now get an adult, if you're a child, get an adult to help you with that bit, and just go over the top with the silver spray. It'll look like it's metal. Or you can, if you want to, as I did with this one, spray the whole thing, and then I've painted some decoration on and an eye here, so it can see where it's going, this particular hammer. But that is Thor's hammer. A very simple Viking make. Enjoy that, and don't hit anybody on the head with it, okay? Just have it for decoration. Thank you very much for watching another CREATURAMA make, and enjoy your Thor's hammer.